Hello, I'm Guy Daniels, Director of Content at TelecomTV. The benefits of 5G are expected to fuel transformative new technologies, not just for consumers, but also for businesses, infrastructure and industrial applications. During the lead up to MWC21, we heard from Christine Bowles, Vice President of the IoT Group and General Manager of Intel's Industrial Solutions Division, on how on-premises 5G networks are providing manufacturers with even more paths on the journey to Industry 4.0. Today, we're going to look in more detail at the benefits of 5G in industrial smart factories, discussing the joint lab of Intel and Exor International. So let me now introduce our guests. From Exor, we are joined by Stefania Fawaki, who is Global Event Specialist for Exor International, and Mark Olding, CMO Exor International, and who is also CEO of One, the company's wireless industrial subsidiary. And from Intel, we are joined by Krishma Hegde, who is Business Development Manager at Intel. Hello everyone, thank you so much for joining the discussion today. Let's first start by looking at Intel's role and how the company is helping to position 5G to support the specific needs of businesses. Krishma, how is Intel helping with the connectivity requirements of industry? Can you discuss some of the relevant technologies and trends that you're seeing?
Of course I could, Guy. Thank you for that question. So before we talk about connectivity, we need to understand where the manufacturing industry is headed, what problems we need to fix to get us there. We all are moving towards this Industry 4.0 transformation promise. To achieve this, it requires convergence of IT systems and legacy OT systems at the edge, and then interconnect them so that you can utilize the benefits of networking and cloud compute. This convergence of IT and OT will happen at the edge and will make the edge more intelligent, more capable, and more flexible. Today, the transformation is being driven by the increasing use of software-defined control systems and AI in the industrial environment. All these efforts can be enhanced by the next generation of 5G and Ethernet connectivity solutions. However, these must be ultra-reliable to meet the demands of industrial requirements. We at Intel's Industrial Solutions Divisions, where I work, see connectivity as an integral component in achieving Industry 4.0 and accelerating the transformation of solutions in the industrial markets. Coming to your technology question, Intel has a strong history of providing compute capabilities for data centers in the cloud, in the network, or on-prem for industrial customers. Ensuring optimal temperature, reliability, latency performance for applications and services to its customers is a specialty of ours. We have been enhancing our portfolio of products to deliver on Industry 4.0 vision. This includes 5G infrastructure, which is optimized and running on Intel technologies, in addition to enabling some open and industry standard technologies such as TSN, TCC, TPM, accelerators, graphics, and next generation CPUs. In short, Intel is driving the transformation by opening a world of opportunity for our customers with our unmatched silicon portfolio, open source software, standard-based technologies, and of course, the robust ecosystem of solution partners Intel works with. Coming to the trend side, I would say that we see a world where heterogeneous connectivity is easy and reliable, where Ethernet and 5G work in perfect harmony, where AI workloads, storage, real-time controls infrastructure can all be optimally placed anywhere on the network, wherever it makes the most business sense for that specific workload, where mobility does not mean compromised security, where it also does not mean constrained network bandwidth, where any business can effectively host and deploy their own private network. So this is how we see trends, technology, and what our vision with respect to connectivity is.
But is the technology ready to support the operational technology needs of SMBs?
They are. Companies are currently racing to have a wireless enhanced broadband, massive machine type, and ultra-reliable low latency networks. The private 5G network is ready to deploy in the OT world of smart factory because the benefits of the new technology support the OT needs, that is, flexibility and availability. Though currently it's not in full scale, but by next year, you'll be seeing more and more of these deployments in full scale.
And can you tell us more about the specific benefits of 5G?
So if you look at it, right, much of the hype around 5G has to do with speed. But speed is not the only answer. It's not the only answer. 5G brings deterministic bandwidth, meaning it handles time-constrained connections between devices, reduced latencies, the time it takes for an endpoint or a machine to make a request from a server and get a response, making machines deterministic faster and easier. 99.9% availability. This enables safe, secure communication between edge and machine to machine. And you can apply these 5G capabilities for distributed cloud, which enables placing of workloads closer to the edge for better quality of service, such as latency. And also, the data does not have to leave your premise, thus providing you with data security and privacy. Real-time machine learning and AI analytics, which will be important in making the network self-optimized to secure SLA fulfillment for services.
Thank you, Krishma. And as you say, it's not all about the speed, the advantages of 5G for industry. Before we hear from Stefania and Mark, let's take a look now at the 5G lab.
Directly beneath the EXO International Factory, we have a laboratory where we investigate the specific business cases for 5G in Industrial 4.0 applications. With the machine you can see, we acquire data relating to the quality of our products and send it to a node where we, at the edge, define algorithms using artificial intelligence and deep learning. Yet that is common in a fully digitalized environment. What is different here is that all of the machine, all of the calculations are 100% orchestrated via a separate Corvina Smart Edge cluster with all the communication taking place over 5G. 5G communication across some common protocols used in the industrial environment is possible, ready to move into the factory floor tomorrow.
Stefania, impressive looking lab. What were the milestones that led Exor to set up this first 5G laboratory in Italy to test private networks?
Well, the process was quite long, and we can divide this path in three big milestones that we had. We, at the beginning, applied a new lean production mentality. So, for example, we changed from a batch-based production system to a one-piece flow system production, and this allows us to minimize stocks and calibrate in real time the production. The second big milestone was to have finally the visibility and the control of the manufacturing process, and this means analyze and collect data in real time. And the third big milestone was absolutely the completion of the digitalization path. So making the production cycle autonomous and paperless and proactive to the people that are working inside in our factory.
Thank you, Stefania. And Mark, what would you say were the most complex steps to implement, and how did the collaboration with Intel help you overcome them?
Well, let's get one thing straight. The actual digitalization of the factory at its very basic level was not complex at all. That was simply having the idea to do it and to go ahead and implement it. The only thing that was complex in that was knowing exactly where to take the data that was the most important for the actual factory. That wasn't difficult whatsoever. Then, once we acquired the data from the production facilities, we then added into our cloud information from the MES, the ERP, the human resources, sales, logistics. So we have the ability to have dashboards created where the information comes to you, and the information is in real time. All of that from a technological point of view wasn't particularly complex. What is now complex, and what is where the collaboration with Intel is coming in, is all of the other business cases which are more advanced. So I'm talking about the virtualization of PLC logic control, doing that, how to overcome the CPU workload in the actual factory floor itself. And here, the combination of the Intel hardware and also the software stack really comes into play. There are two particular softwares that have really helped us with Intel. The first of which is the TSN IP core. Without that, we would have had a lot of difficulty, because the TSN is a complex thing to do. Secondly, the other thing they helped us was OpenVINO, of course, and without those softwares, we would have been significantly many months behind. The complexity also is coming through with some of the other business cases we're working on. So it's sort of like a step ladder, right? You have to get your foundation right. We have to get the foundation of a digitalized factory, and then you can start adding them on. And that's where we've moved on now to the 5G laboratory, where we are experimenting with communication over 5G using certain industrial protocols.
So why is it important to have a digitalized factory before you look to implement 5G? And what are the technologies that can support this transformation?
Well, I touched on that before, because what we're talking about mainly is not really impediments of technology speaking, but in terms of change management and mentality, and certainly with the SME sector. So the reason that you need to have digitalization is you need to start working with your own data. I mean, this data is not new. It's always been there. It's just that now you start to use it and see it, and can analyze it in real time. So it's really important that you start with that step. When you do that, you basically provide your people in your company with the tools where they can start to look at building new business models and to improving things. And it's really important to put those tools into people's hands, experts who really can start to, dare I say it, play around with the technology to try and find new ways, new algorithms, new ways of doing business. So that's by far the most important reason why digitalization is the first thing to do.
And what do you expect to achieve through the work on 5G industrial applications?
Well, to answer that, I think that I need to tell what is our vision of the factory in the future. Our vision of the factory is a 100% fully autonomous unit, where our customers order directly to the factory, where the factory then deals with the production setup, with the acquisition of the components, where our suppliers of components are embedded into our cloud system, and basically opening up the whole entity to make it fully autonomous. Without a doubt, 5G, to realize that vision, 5G is going to be absolutely crucial. I mean, you can imagine, for instance, having the ability 5G linked in with our suppliers who are delivering the components to our factory, and we know exactly where the truck is, how far it is away from arriving at our factory, how big it is, how much stuff is in there, and all that connecting via 5G would be absolutely wonderful. So that's why 5G is really very important to us. In terms of the overall vision. The second reason really is there are one or two business cases which without 5G you can't do Industry 4.0. The number one reason is autonomous machine-to-machine communication. In our factory, we have a couple of AMRs, and they need to speak to certain machines that are producing products. But say the machine has a problem, the machine has to speak to the AMR and say, look, don't come now and collect the item, and indeed spend the next 30 minutes doing something else more effectively. That sort of autonomous communication, which is very difficult, needs to take place over 5G.
Thank you, Mark. And from what you just said, it's very clear there, the strengths that 5G can bring, both to execute your vision and for these new use cases. Stefania, can customers and prospective customers see this for themselves? Is it possible to visit the 5G lab and the factory?
Of course it is. All companies that are interested to see the path that we did and the results that we achieved are more than welcome. Our approach to the visit to our factory sees like more at the beginning a sort of discovery meeting, so a call or a meeting in which we can understand the needs of the companies that want to come and understand how to set up at best the visit, because we want that people have the opportunity to talk with our experts that lived in the past our path, and then that they can speak the same language and understand the problems that we had and how we solved them, and the result to have a 5G lab inside in our factory, thanks to the support of Intel technology too, obviously.
Well, there's obviously so much potential around 5G for industrial smart factories, and whilst this evolution is just beginning, it's going to be exciting to see how it develops and the business cases that will continue to emerge. For now though, thank you all for joining our discussion today. A reminder that you can watch our earlier panel with Intel's Christine Bowles, where she was joined by Claudio Ambra, CTO of Exor International, and as part of Intel's virtual event for MWC21, Dan Rodriguez, Intel Corporate Vice President, spoke about how 5G and the intelligent edge are having a profound impact on reshaping industries and enhancing business operations. Just follow the links in the description below this video, which also include more information on the 5G lab and how you can visit. For now though, thanks for watching and goodbye.